spoke this, she rejoiced it. Say your words, give me open. So I closed it when your closes. I'm only loving for the moment.
She ain't got a man, but she's not alone. Miss Independent, yeah, she got her own. Hey, gorgeous, I mean flawless. Well, that's what you are, how I see it is how I call it.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Do your thing, baby. I ain't even mad, and I ain't leaving fast.
Hello! So quick about another school shooting. Good is that the kids this time running around and asking for gun laws, because the pressure will be there for the politics to not ignore the kids because they're crystal clear victims, right? When Wayne de la Pierre, the NRA idiot CEO, when he says the only guy who can stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. So that sounds logic. But of course the only way to stop the guy with the gun is that he doesn't have a gun in the first place. Because then that problem would be not there. Trump of course wants the teachers getting armed so that in the end the teacher who flips out shoots his own students and run amok, or the students steal the gun from the teacher and run amok, or a shooter actually comes in and then the teacher misses him, gets shot, and it's a total massacre. But all that stuff doesn't make any sense. The key issue is, for example, I have a gun license, I have guns in Canada, I have guns in Germany, and I'm licensed and they're in a safe, locked up. If you follow the rules of various countries, like Germany and Canada for example, you will see you have way less shootings, way less amok runs whatsoever, because you have to be mentally stable, you have to make a test, a written test, and you have to get the whole background check gets done, you have to have no criminal record, you have to do a practical test that you can handle guns. So it doesn't make any sense in US that you could be completely retard, you buy a gun, you don't even know how it is, and you sit at home, you bought ammunition in your gun, so you look at YouTube, like find your gun, whatever you bought, and then sitting there like trying to figure out how to load the gun, how to clean the gun, or whatsoever, or shoot. One of the biggest mistakes in US is, besides the fact that everybody can buy guns, unlimited, it's completely absurd. The stock bombs have to get not allowed anymore, and so also like full automatic weapons, of course, are not allowed, for example, in Canada or Germany. There are basic rules, there shouldn't be even a discussion about it, and that the NRA is trying to not even get that basic rules done is the real scandal here. And all the politics who watching then, you had the Trump sitting in the White House and he had the teenagers crying in front of him, and everybody looks like they're so shocked and emotionally on the side of the teenagers. In reality, they're only looking like, shit, the camera's actually filming me, so what should I do that I care about the kids? And in the end, I, of course, am still bought and paid for from the military and weapon industry, and I will not change this. That is the absurdity. It's just a completely psycho world. I read an article this year that in the, I think since 50, 60 years combined, in US, on US soil, 1.6 million people got shot. Accidents, police, shootouts, gangster shootouts, amok runs, whatsoever, all together. But these are more people who got killed on American soil as in all the wars together. The total amount of dead US soldiers in Iraq, Afghanistan, First World War, Second World War, Korea, Vietnam is less as that number. And one of the biggest reasons for all the shooting deaths is, for example, accidents. And the fact that you don't need, in a lot of states in US, a gun safe to put your guns away. So you basically have them in your top drawer on your desk, or you have them under your pillow or whatsoever. And then you have children coming in, hey, what is this there? So that happens all the time, that children shooting children. And this kind of stuff, even if it's not so massively in the media, I think it's even worse as that school shootings, because that shows the absurdity of like how they handle guns, how you think you can store your guns. And another thing, in Canada and in Germany, it's not allowed to have your gun loaded in the safe. It means it has to be unloaded in the safe. That is how it should be. And then you go to the gun range and you shoot with your gun, or in competition shootings or whatsoever. I mean, that is the way it should be. But in US, they are all like hiding behind that Second Amendment, instead of saying, I'm completely paid and bought for, and it doesn't matter how many people are dying, I will defend the NRA and the Luger and Smith & Wessons and whatsoever. So what I hope more is what happened this week with the NRA, that a lot of the sponsoring NRA members getting, like rebates on Alamo, National Car, whatever, they're all taken away from them. If the benefits go down to be a member of the NRA, then people will maybe reevaluate, you know. So, and I think the industry are ultimately the decision makers, what will happen to the gun laws. So you have to, if you're an NRA member, and you think it's ridiculous what they're pulling there, you have to give your membership back to the NRA. And you, if you are like an industrial leader and you have any kind of ties, connections with the NRA, you cannot host them as a hotel. You say no to NRA conventions. You have to cut off any kind of membership, advertising in NRA magazines, brochures, websites. Cut them off the money. That is the way to do it. And I hope that kids from the high school are not giving up, and that they're pushing it forward till there are different gun laws. Ask police officers if they're happy that every idiot can have a gun in their car. You see how many people getting shot in the US on normal control things in traffic, right? They're stopping somebody, flipping completely out because they think, oh, everybody has maybe a gun in the car. Like in Germany and Canada, like the police officer comes to your window and it says, okay, you have the driver license, and they're not nervous. Or in Germany also, they're not nervous because they know like that it's absolutely unlikely that that guy pulls a gun on me. It's like a lottery jackpot, unlikely wise. That is the way we should do it, and that is the way it should be. It should be all done. You know, it's just like, it's so depressing to see what's going on for over 20 years now. Littleton School Massacre, my movie Heart of America, 20 years ago was the Littleton School Massacre, and it was like 2002 or 3. Almost 15 years ago, I did Heart of America, Home Run, about the Littleton School Massacre. I mean, you know, it's unbelievable. The people just don't learn, you know. And on another subject matter, this week, everywhere in the newspapers, the ice is melting 8 times faster as ever calculated everywhere, and a big ice mountains breaking apart in the Arctic, going around in the oceans, making first of all everything colder, right? But then they're melting, and there's no ice reflecting the sun back in the stratosphere. It's just going all in the ocean, the sun, because in like 20 years latest, the South and North Pole, the Arctic and Greenland, the ice is gone. That are the problems we should discuss. We should not even discuss absolutely crystal clear things like that weapon routes. You know, it's like totally absurd. That should be just a given, and they should not hear, like politics should not like listen to a club, like a membership club. You know, it would be like you listen to old buddy club led by Wayne de la Pierre, who is obvious out of his fucking mind and should go in a psych ward.
He's wearing your clothes, head down to